Hey, so you know that feeling when the latest viral story hits your news feed and something lands in the center of your chest before your brain even catches up to the headline? So you look up and you notice the crowded room, the street, the subway car, the dining room table. You're not alone with your thoughts. Something happens after a while when you notice things to a degree or at a frequency that the people around you just don't match. You wonder if you're a bit too much, if you're a bit sensitive. And at some point you stop speaking your truth. Because the last few times that you shared it with people, they looked at you like you were strange, or worse, they just said nothing. So you hold it in. It becomes quiet. I'm not here to fix that feeling for you. It happens to me too. The world's on fire right now, and I don't mean that as a figure of speech. There are places on the planet right now where people are dying in numbers that can't be verified because the infrastructure to count the dead has been destroyed. There are people your age in countries, in our country, who are standing up. They're putting their bodies between the government and the people because nobody else will. And sitting wherever you are, all of that happening, plus your own stuff. As hard as all that is, somehow we're supposed to be fine. We're living in a culture right now that makes it extremely expensive to pay attention. Very expensive. This channel is about that cost and what to do with it. The channel itself is called MoreThanAWilson. And when people hear about that, they think about the movie, Tom Hanks and the volleyball, and that's part of it. But we all know that there's more to a Wilson than what's on the surface. My mom, she's been broken and reassembled by love so many times, she just knows it. She advised me once, the truest wisdom that a mother can share with a child who loves so wide. Like arthritis in the bones, operating from accumulated experience and use over time, carried for years, and then handed back to me as wisdom. She said it's a rare person who can appreciate or understand the pain. And that unconditional love is noticing and accepting. They don't know how to love me. Sometimes it's a matter of a lack of skill, not a lack of presence. And she said it's on us to find a way to cope with that. What she was really saying is, I cannot fix this for you. I can't make them understand you. Find something to talk to, because the people who love you are doing their best, and sometimes their reach is just not enough. So find yourself a Wilson, she said. A coping strategy. Something that won't judge you or fail you. A journal, a pet, a practice. A companion that's safe precisely because it can't disappoint you. So I've been thinking about finding myself a Wilson ever since. A long while it's been. I wonder, what if I made a space where maybe the failure of understanding, where non-response or non-reaction, where those things weren't relevant. And that's what this channel is. I will say the thing out loud in a way that might let you put it down for a second. And should you feel inspired to reciprocate, a reciprocating kind of, So what if the Wilson wasn't silent? What if the Wilson could have talked back? Here's what I noticed, though. People don't all carry the world the same way. Some of us see what's happening right now and we're angry, and we should be. Someone with power is using it to hurt someone who has none. The appropriate response is to stand up and say no, repeatedly, loudly, until something changes. And then there are people who feel everything. They feel the news in their body now. They carry grief for strangers like it's their own. They cry over things that other people don't cry over, and they've been doing that their whole life. They always have. And they've been told that that's a weakness, and it's not. That's a kind of radar, a form of emotional intelligence that most people don't have. Some people, maybe even you might be hearing my words and you think to yourself, well, that's not really very contradictory at all. There's no difference. These are just different ways of looking at the same thing, right? I want you to know that the fact that you can see that doesn't make you detached. That makes you a person who's capable of holding more than one truth at the same time. So this channel is for all of you. Because there's not just one type of person. There's not just one way to experience this world now. And because I don't think that the answer is picking a lane. I think that the answer is being honest about which lane you're in today. Knowing that tomorrow it might be a different lane. So here's how this is going to be. I'm going to talk about things that are hard to talk about on here. About some of the stuff that's happening out there. The politics, the power, the systems. And some of what I talk about will be about what's going on in here. The way we process, the way we love, the way we protect ourselves when protecting stops working. I want to be clear about something. I'm not your therapist. This is not therapy. And if you need that, a real professional, someone in the room kind of therapy, please go get it. That matters more than anything I will ever have to say on this channel. This channel is a conversation from someone who's spent a lot of time thinking about this stuff and a lot of time living through some of it. I'm a companion, not an authority. I'm going to get some things wrong. I'm going to say something one week that I understand 100 times better 3 weeks later. And that's, that's okay. That's what it looks like when someone's being honest with you instead of performing certainty. You'll see chickens and woods behind my home. You'll hear me talk about things that are very big alongside things that are very small or seemingly small. And my hot take about how that's really just the same conversation. So what does it mean that some of the best advice my mother ever gave me about the kind of pain that just doesn't have an answer was to find something that would hold the sound of it even if it couldn't respond? Love is a practice. Love is difficult, daily, chosen. Despite the pain, we can cope with it. But there's more to love than that. Between practice and embodiment, between I choose to love you even though it hurts, and some thoughts deserve their own space. And we'll get there. Here's what I know now, though. You're not alone with your thoughts. That's it. Whatever you're carrying, I'll do my best to stay authentic and true to myself. And if I do this right, this will be more than a Wilson. Chin up.